Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today, the Hyperloops and Rebel Impact spoiled several more cards for Way of the Force. We're going to start off with the Hyperloop spoilers and then move into the Rebel Impact spoilers. There will be links in the description to where you can check out their video channels or their websites. And I'm just going to bring up the cards here, going to let you know what I think of them. So, first card here, this one from the Hyperloops, is Fifth Brother, Intimidating Enforcer, 12 health, 13 or 16 points, depending if you want to run a single die or run him at Elite. 1 melee damage, 2 melee damage, discard, resource, special, and blank. He's an Inquisitor, so again, we have the Inquisitor subtype here. Special, resolve one of your non-ability blue upgrade dice without removing it from your pool. So, good health, pretty good cost here. So, 13, 16, you can immediately pair him at Elite with an Elite 7 Sister. So I think it's going to be a very thematic pairing. You could even do Elite Fifth Brother and a single die Seventh Sister, which would bring you to 27 points. So 16 for the Fifth Brother, 11 for the Sister, giving you 3 resources, or not 3 resources, 3 points, which you can then use to play Profitable Connection and get 3 resources beginning of the game. So that's a possibility as well. So again, 2 damage sides, so a 1 and a 2. And the special is really cool. So, like, if you were to pair him with the Seventh Sister, you could resolve. So it has to be non-ability upgrades. So weapons. So the Seeker droids are probably what I would be resolving this with. So roll in Seeker droids with the Seventh Sister with her ability, and possibly also droids that are already on her as upgrade cards. And then every time you resolve a Seeker droid, the other Seeker droids in your pool, their values will go down. So let's say you have 2 Seeker droids out, and let's say you have them on melee damage. So it could be, it's 2 melee damage, you resolve that, the next one only resolves for 1 melee damage. With the Fifth Brother special, you could resolve the 2 melee damage on the Seeker droid, leave it in your pool, and then on your next turn, just resolve the Seeker droids, basically bringing your damage up by 2, because you're getting 2 off the Seeker droid, leaving it in your pool, resolving it later for 2 again, removing it, and then resolving the single Seeker droid for 1. So I think Fifth Brother is going to be really interesting. So he's just a rare here. So we have Fifth Brother, you can pair him up with, again, Seventh Sister, both at Elite, all melee damage, with the Seeker droids also doing melee damage. I think he can be a really interesting character. You could also potentially pair him maybe with any other characters that are like 14. So maybe like a single die, like Aura Singh or something like that. But I think Seven Sister is probably going to be probably the best pairing for him. If you want to just keep it in blue, because they'll synergize very well off of each other, I believe. So that is the Fifth Brother. We're going to move into our next card. And next up, we have the Fifth Brother's Lightsaber, unique upgrade weapon, 3 resources, blue villain, +1 melee, +2 melee, +3 melee, shield, +1 resource, and blank. Those sides on their own, all modifiers, so not great with that. But if you, the rest of the card, while this upgrade is on Fifth Brother, you can resolve this die, showing a modifier as if it were not a modifier. And after you resolve this die, you may deal 1 damage to a character. So this thing on any other character is still, I think, good. So let's say you pair it with any other melee character, you resolve that character's character dice plus one of the modifiers on this die. But if you play this on Fifth Brother, you may immediately have these. These are no longer modifiers. These are basically 1 melee, 2 melee, 3 melee, shield, and resource. And then again, once you resolve it for whatever side you resolve, you do 1 damage to a character as well. So you choose where that damage goes, and basically, so you resolve it for, like, let's say it's on Fifth Brother. He rolls blanks on his dice, but he has a +2 melee on this. You resolve that melee, that +2 as just 2 melee, and then deal 1 additional damage as well. So I think again, with if you were to do Elite Fifth Brother, single Seventh Sister, you can get Profitable Connection and play his lightsaber turn 1 if you wanted to. I think this could be a really strong card, especially if you play it on him. So one thing they're doing with Way of the Force is there are cards that will be good on some characters, great when they're on the character that is represented in the card. So This will be good on any like other melee character or blue villain melee character. And it also doesn't have any play restrictions, so it's like you can play it on um, Governor Price because he has melee. There is no color restriction on playing this card. You still again need to have a blue character to include it, but you don't have to have it doesn't have to go on a blue character. But like I was saying, it will be decent on her possibly. But then if you put it on Fifth Brother, his these all just become damage sides that are not modified. So really interesting card here. I can see this being really strong, especially with the Fifth Brother special. So let's say you roll a blank in a special and you roll this on one of the damage sides. You can use his special to resolve this die for whatever damage is showing and then leave it in the pool. Potentially re-roll his other character die later and hope to get melee damage and then just resolve more melee damage on a future turn. So that is the Fifth Brother's Lightsaber. That does it for the Hyperloops spoilers. We're going to move into the spoilers from Rebel Impact in just a moment, and we'll be right back with those. And next up, we have There Is No Try, Blue Hero Upgrade Ability, 2 resources, 1 melee, 2 melee for a resource, focus, 2 shields for a resource, resource and blank. And as an action, you can reroll this die, then you may resolve it, increasing its value by 1, otherwise remove it. So let's say you roll it in, you roll a blank, you can use the action to re-roll it, and then hopefully to get a better result, and then resolve the die, increasing whatever it's on by 1. So we have damage sides here, we have focus, we have shields, 2 of those sides being resource costed. So if you do the action to re-roll it, it may be beneficial to have a resource, like just an extra resource. So in case you land on that 2 melee for a resource or 2 shields for a resource, you can then pay that cost. I like that you can also potentially pair this up with the new Luke Skywalker. So let's say he has shields on his. Let's say you roll the 2 damage for a resource and you roll shields on Luke. You can resolve Luke's shield size as melee damage, and then resolve the melee damage on this die with that. So you can potentially, if you have a resource, you can potentially do. Let's say he's got the 2 shield side. You could do 2 damage there and 2 damage with There Is No Try if you pay that 1 resource cost. I'm not really a big fan of the resource costs on something that just does 2, but I think maybe it would have been too powerful at a 2 cost to have it be to not have any of it be resource costed. And I do like the thematic element of the action where you re-roll it, you resolve it, increasing it by 1, or remove it. Because so we have do or do not. There is no try, basically. So that is There Is No Try. We're going to move into our next card. And next up, we have Luke's Training, 0 cost, blue hero event. Spot 2 blue characters or Luke Skywalker to play a blue ability from your hand or discard pile, decreasing its cost by 1. So again, we have this card that if you have Luke, you can just spot Luke, or if you have 2 other blue characters, you can spot them to use this effect as well. I like that it gives you something off of either your hand or discard pile. So if your opponent discarded an ability out of your hand or your deck, or just defeated a character and you want to get that ability back, Luke's Training will allow you to get that ability back as well. And furthermore, it decreases it by 1. So this will stack with It Binds All Things. So you play Luke's Training, play your ability, decrease it by 1 with Luke's Training, decrease it again by 1 with It Binds All Things. So I do one thing though, it only hits abilities. It won't let you use it on like weapons and things like that. So no lightsabers or any other kind of like Luke's lightning rod. You can't use it on that, but you can use it on blue abilities that are either in your hand or your discard pile. So that's pretty cool. So that is Luke's Training. We're going to move into our next card. And finally, we have Force Jump. 1 resource, neutral blue upgrade ability. 1 shield, special, double blanks, blue character only, special. Turn a die showing damage, either ranged, melee, or indirect, to a shy showing a blank. Reroll this die instead of removing it. So again, with Luke's Training, you can get this out for free potentially. Gives you shields, and then it also gives you dice control. It would have been better if it just removed those dice, but basically you roll the special, you resolve it, you then flip an opponent's die showing damage to a blank, and then re-roll Force Jump. So it's like you can kind of like jump and jump again, basically. Double blanks on it, one resource. It could be good. I think it might be a decent control card. Again, I think it'll be a little bit stronger if it removed maybe turn the die to a shy showing a blank or spend one resource to remove it. Maybe would have been a little bit stronger, but then that may have been too strong for a one cost upgrade. Who knows? But we have shields on here to prevent damage. We also have the specials, which will then further mitigate damage by flipping them into blanks. And again, it's a neutral upgrade, so you can go to your hero or villain decks. And that is going to do it for today's video. These spoilers were provided by the Hyperloops as well as Rebel Impact. Again, check the description below to get links to all their stuff. Again, that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time, and thanks again for watching.